Man, cause Sherm from DC.
Yeah, DC played for the Celtics.
Guppy gave this man the blues. When Guppy wanted to put it on you, and then he, oh, come on, baby, sure, you can't hang with me. You want to get on me? No, short. Oh, okay, all right. When I come back, I'm gonna come to the next spot. What? I'm gonna stand right there. You keep saying that. All right. Guppy do his thing. Then I told you, boom, I'm gonna come back and do it again. And that's how Guppy. Then he smiled and grin, and you be so mad at him, but you like him too because you can see his energy and his love for the game. That's the reason why. I remember seeing Guppy. We was 12 years old when he came to Cecil Kirk. And we knew him as Sam from Madison. And there was a couple other guys, a guy named Eric that was a good friend of mine, and Eric was playing at Cecil Kirk, and he went to Madison. He's like, man, Eric, why you going there? Well, people's families moved. Right. His family moved. So he moved closer to the bottom of the hill, and he went down there because he wanted to go to Dunbar because he thought he could get a better opportunity to get the basketball scholarship if he went. And he did. Eric did get a scholarship to play ball. So.
Yeah, if you think back to that era, another difference between now and then is that a lot of stories, sometimes some stories we heard from back then, we didn't even get to witness, but the word of mouth is so powerful. Now today, as everything's on the phone, it's on the hip, you get to see it, social media. But one of the most legendary stories, I didn't see it personally, but it was one of the biggest legends, when Keith Booth, Turk, down the coalition, 360 dunk on Manu Bowl, talking about that forever. I didn't see it, but it was that thing of legend. And so when I lived in the social media, he 360'd on Manu Bowl and went crazy. If I'm not mistaken, it somehow made it to the papers, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it was crazy. Wow. Like, so you're a 16, 17-year-old phenom, but you dunked on Manu Bowl, who's 7'7", the tallest player ever at that time in the NBA.
Wow. That's like Vince Carter on Frederick Weiss. Oh, a lot of people did. I had people call me, Dirk, wake up, turn on SportsCenter. They still showing it. You gotta see this dunk.
That may
You know what I'm saying though? I mean, when he got over a guy 7'4" and cleared him.
That may be the most wicked dunk, clearly in the Olympics, but I mean, dunk of all time. It's definitely in the top. It's gotta be in the top.
Though, I'm gonna tell you something.
You tell me something that beats that.
If there's a dunk.
Tom Chambers on Mark Jackson.
Oh, Tom Chambers. When he went up and then went up, I mean, good Lord. You gotta give it to Tom was like, how you get them hops and then get more hops? But I'm gonna give it to a dunk that nobody had ever seen before. East Bay Funk dunk by J.R. Wright. Nobody had ever did the between the legs dunk before.
That was great, but he wasn't doing the game.
Funk dunk. Oh, doing the game?
Now I'm gonna tell you one.
Sean Kemp on Alton Lister.
Oh, that was wicked. He broke the rim down.
No. Oh, in-game dunk?
No, I got one for you. I got one of the meanest. And it's gonna jog all your memory. About 1994. Kevin Johnson, when he dunked on Hakeem Olajuwon. And came over like, yeah, at 6'1".
I mean, that was a good one.
To me,
because he caught him sleeping. Woo. That's almost as bad as Spud Webb caught Magic.
In your chest. Like, Michael Jordan had a lot of great dunks, but I don't think he surpassed that Vince Carter dunk. No. And that Kevin Johnson dunk was... Now,
the one that Vince Carter did on Alonzo Mourning.
John Starks.
That's what... Thank you. That's what... The John Starks dunk is
left-handed dunk. Yes.
Better than any dunk to Jordan.
Because he caught Jordan,
and Grant.
And Scottie Pippen was still lingering around.
And
they all were lingering.
Let's talk about that element. I like how we go in this segment, talk about element. Think about it. And this is a parallel for anybody out there in life that want to do stuff. Right. They got goals and dreams, ambitions. John Starks was bagging groceries shortly before that.
Yep.
In a supermarket.
Yep.
Like real talk, he was bagging groceries.
Yep.
Because sometimes in life you gotta do what you gotta do on your way to your dreams.
Because he came continental basketball.
Yeah, he went through the CBA, now defunct. The CBA, kind of like the minor leagues for y'all young kids out there that's watching. But here's the thing. I was talking about this with my boy Terrence like this weekend. He said, I told him the story. He said, Jay, you know what? You know the funny thing about that? When John Starks was bagging the groceries, he still had that ability to dunk on Jordan. He just didn't have the opportunity. This world is opportunity, man.
Right.
So everybody out there just pause.
That's a great way to look at that.
Good at whatever you do.
You make how you look at that.
You make pies. You make blend wines. You do whatever you do.
But sometimes it's all about the access and opportunity.
It's about the access and opportunity. John Stark, when he was cleaning up on aisle 8 and packing that for Miss Jones carrying that heavy bag out, he could still rise up, and we saw him get the opportunity.
And when he got up to it, and then he gave Jordan the blues.
Oh, the blues. And so
Jordan, he challenged him.
You know what? That's a word out there for gatekeepers. You're a gatekeeper and you're blocking someone's opportunity. Stop blocking people's opportunity. They got skills. You're blocking the opportunity.
Well, see, we all know that, and this is something that's not really discussed,
System
and it
of
should
oppression.
be really discussed, is the opportunities that a lot of African American kids do not get. And you know, everybody wants to paint this a pretty picture, but America, as great as it is not a pretty picture. It's not a pretty picture for a kid that, okay, if you take an elementary school and you say, okay, we got 30 kids here, and you're looking at 16 girls, 14 boys. The girls, most of them, they'll figure a way. I mean, you know, they're high school, whatever, some of them drop out, but they'll find some type of program would get them, and they'll be able to survive. Those 14 boys, by 25, 6 of them might be dead. And that's something that really sits in your mind.
Sure.
When you think about it, we're talking about 14 kids. These little boys, they're 5, 6 years old. Don't even know what the world's about. But 20 years from now,
But by,
30 to 40% of them might not even be
but
here.
by your reading score, your math score in 3rd grade, whatever your locality is, that's what they're planning their next prison pipeline on your scores. If you fall below a certain line, that's what we're planning and projecting what we need to do. And we have to understand, get slightly whatever elevated, or just where we all already at. There are always oppressors there, but sometimes we succumb to the oppression. But think about it, you made a great point. 14 girls, 16 boys, and by this particular time, they get a little older. Some didn't quite make it. Because think about it, when you walk down the street, you see the homeless guy, and not the stereotype homeless people, I'm just using it as a visual. When you see some guy that's in wino, think back to when he was in 3rd grade. He looked like any other little boy, most likely his little head, his little haircut, his little shoes. And I always wanted to document being a filmmaker. How did this person get to that point?
Right.
Funny you should say that. I actually have a friend of mine, and you don't think about this. He's the friend at 15 that was always begging. And he's drinking, he's begging. You 15, 16 doing your thing. And you like,
Let me get a quarter, yo.
yeah, let me get a quarter.
Let me get a quarter,
So
yo.
let me get a quarter, kind of, let me get a dollar, turn again, you gotta get some of your 40.
Right.
And then before you know it, you looking at him like, all right, I'm doing something with my life, everybody moving forward. He's coming around 24, you still ain't paying no attention because he's like, hey, you got 40, gotta get something, gotta get, don't really pay no attention. And then you look up and you like, we're 30, everybody's moved on their life and they grown up. And this dude is homeless. And you like, you didn't know that you were looking at it at 15. Is what you said.
Yeah.
And think about on the flip side of that, to piggyback on something you said earlier, you got those people that you like. This is the best dude I ever seen. Smart guy, intelligent, best. I know best athletes I ever seen, basketball players and everything. Guess what? They family starving now. They can't wait for that NBA dream. And that college thing, it's 2 years away. He getting what he getting now, so he's succumbing because he like, look, y'all talking about what I could be. I don't know y'all, I don't trust y'all. Y'all going by potential. You're talking to me about the same dudes that now, look, you trying to tell me I can get locked up by y'all tomorrow. And then these same dudes in my head talking about, but I got potential, I'm supposed to trust y'all to go this fast. What is he gonna listen to? His homeboys in the street. That's the only people he can trust.
Both of y'all hit on 2 good points. Like the kid who get caught up in some mischief, or even a kid with potential. But let's think about it. We talk about black men. As a black man, and I've talked about this with some of my friends who are so-called scholars, and they are. As a black man, right? Complete high school, go to college, complete college, whatever you do, trade school, some professional level, certifications, license, you do that. You build a career, you may build a business, you build a life, you procreate, by procreate, you made some kids. So you succumb, you pass drugs, you didn't become a druggie, you have a nice little glass of wine every now and then. You're not a drug addict, you're not robbing people, you're a productive citizen in the community. But the system gets you every other way because that relationship with that woman is now ended. They catch you with child support. Then they threaten your professional license, they threaten your driver's license. So you did everything right, but guess what you did? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Basically, black men, you shouldn't have kids. That's what they're telling you because they're gonna punish you and penalize you. for having kids through child support. Not that child support is child should be supported, but the way the system is enacted is often used as advice against men in these situations. I think every woman, if you're bearing a child, you both have responsibility, but it's used as advice. Think about it. How many times we all have friends and they call you, man, she already talking about, yeah, she going down child support Monday. Y'all just broke up on Friday. I've been taking care of this child for 6 years. But on Monday, she's going to child support because y'all relationship ended. And I've seen women actually do this. And so they use it as advice. So what they do sometimes is keep a man in a relationship because who wants to be downtown?
Well, it goes a step further. And that I've seen a guy raise a child from a kid. And the kid's been called, he raised him as his own.
And then find out later it's not his real fault.
It's not his child. But here's the thing. Not particularly that particular point. I've seen this real life. Guy had the child since he was 15. He stopped, they break up. She gets him for child support, even though it's not his biological child.
Yeah.
He's responsible. Because they saying you can't just take and remove this child out of this guy out of this child's life. This is what you piggyback on what you were saying. It's set up that way.
You know, I was thinking about this concept today, right? About the whole child support thing. And I have a friend who's been in this establishment before. You've seen him go off about the child support thing. He's a very educated guy.
Oh yeah, Chuck.
Yeah. Well, he put him on camera.
There's a lot of Chucks out here. I ain't gonna say which Chuck. I know Chuck.
He put him on camera.
Come on, Chuck. I know
And
him.
my friend is
Good
very
guy.
frustrated about this. He pays a lot of child support. He's a guy who makes a great living. He pays a lot of child support. Enough child support that's really like some people's income. And what I thought about the child support system, what should be done is this. And I don't think they got a system right now, so my idea, and it might not be the total answer, but it's better. If the so-called non-custodial parent, a lot of times, which is the father, has to pay into the system, so should the mother. So it should be a pot where if you're giving $1,000 this month, I'm giving $1,000, now I'm getting $2,000, and then they can redistribute that check to you. Because without that, that mother could be unemployed for 10 years. And she won't lose her license, she won't lose her professional license, but because she's the so-called custodial parent, that man, which in most cases, I know sometimes it's that way, in most cases a man is going to be penalized because they're saying he's supposed to get the support. Now, I'm not saying he's not supposed to, however, the system's not fair. So if they set an amount that you're supposed to give, let's say $1,200 a month for the support of a child.
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you.
$1,200 a month for support of a child. And this woman, no matter what she does not have a set amount. Now, she's caring for the child, but the man is penalized. So here, how about this? In the economy we live in right now, man loses his job. I seen this happen to a friend. We're not saying any names. I seen this happen to a friend. He lost his job, working great, doing this, doing that. Guess what? They don't believe in life events occurring. So in your house, if you lose all your income, right, things go bad. Guess what? So we're not buying new shoes this month. We're going to tighten up. We're going to do less of this, less of that. Child support doesn't say that. Child support says no matter what, each month you're going to give this portion. Sometimes that doesn't even happen in people's houses because their economy slips. Something happens.
Right, but Jay, the problem with I would say the system. There's a lot of guys who are not doing anything, and I believe that the guy that is doing something, as long as he's making concerted effort every month, they will work with him. What happens is there's too many times where you have guys who, we're talking damn near a decade, haven't paid nothing. The kid was an infant. Now this kid is standing 5'6", 5'7". He's taller than the mother, and the father has not contributed one dime. Yes, the ones who are trying to do, I believe the system in some way will work with them, but we have too many, far too many, that does nothing. And so the ones who are good get penalized somewhat.
But so in 1970,
That's Paul.
when we were spending $1 billion a year on the defense budget, and we were spending $1 billion a year on support for children. Now, 40 years later, we spend $10 billion on defense, and now we got all these people in child support. The same money was there. They just moved it over here. They don't give a fuck about our children. They don't give a shit about these kids.
You're
it's
right.
how to hurt you as a man to break up our community. Think about how many levels they fucking us over on.
Yes.
They fucking us over. They taking our money, our tax money, number one. Giving it to the top 1%.
Right.
And they putting you in jail and creating a record for you the whole time they doing
And the
it.
black
How
woman
brilliant
support-
is that shit?
The black woman supporting it.
Right, and
They
tricking
got
her into
mesmerized
supporting it.
into They
That's
got her-
true.
So it's 2 against 1 already.
It's more than talking. It's just the whole we brainwashed the whole freaking society into that. And I say this because when the situation happened, I raised my kids. I told her to go on. I got the kids because I wasn't getting caught in that shit. I'll raise them, and I raised my children. So, but you have to think. You have to think bigger than what's right here on the surface, and that's where they kill us. Most of us only see what's right in front of our face, what's right on the surface. It's a bigger thing.
Right.
It's how do we revert? It's like social programs. We worry about somebody on welfare. Say somebody getting over on welfare, and they working and they getting a welfare check. Well, motherfucker, back 10 years ago when they were paying the taxes that they were supposed to pay, it was working just fine.
Yeah.
And that system produced a Barack Obama.
Right.
That system produced all the black leaders that we have today. They got produced in that system when it was kind of sort of working. What ain't being produced now is today, when all that money's going there and our schools are fucked up, our communities are fucked up, because they took the money away. It's the same money.
Right.
And they make us fight. We'll get mad at somebody because they open up a soul food restaurant. You killing our community. You know, you feeding us that poison or some shit like that. But yeah, we go buy that same shit from the fucking Koreans.